Numbers can tell a powerful story. Like 1946, the year Alpha Insurance was founded, or the more than 1 million policies currently in force. Backed up by superior service from a local agent right in your community. For 65 years, we've been right there with you. We're looking forward to the next 65.
For a plan built just for you, contact Talisa Scheichel in Holly Pond.
In for the first TD. On the next...
The scoreboard from Week 1 of the 2012 regular season, it was the Coleman Bearcats with 4 fourth-quarter touchdowns to put away the Walker Vikings 42-14. The Fairview Aggies throw a 32-0 shutout over the Hansel Bulldogs as they met for the first time since 2007. The Good Oak Raiders ran roughshod over the Holly Pond Broncos by the final 37-6. An impressive win for the West Point Warriors over the Brewer Patriots 43-22. The Vineman Eagles start very strong with a 26-7 win against Brindley Mountain. And hats off to Rod Elliott and the Cold Spring Eagles. They snapped their 35-game losing streak, defeating the Decatur Heritage at Crawford Strickland Stadium. The final, the Eagles 36, Decatur Heritage 6. Coming up, week number 2 of the 2012 area high school football regular season, the beginning of regional play. It gets started Friday night with the Good Oak Raiders and the Hansel Bulldogs in Ray Talley Stadium. A big game for the West Point Warriors in 5A Region 8 as they welcome the Athens Golden Eagles to town. The Coleman Bearcats head up to Limestone County to face East Limestone in the 5A Region 8 opener. It is the Fairview Aggies into Marshall County to meet the Douglas Eagles. The Vineman Eagles take a trip into Morgan County to battle the Danville Hawks. The Holly Pond Broncos try to get that first win of the season as they go into Marshall County to play Brindley Mountain. And the Sullivan Blue Devils come to Crawford Strickland Stadium for the 2A Region 4 opener with the Cold Spring Eagles.
Get acquainted with Affordable Automotive in Welty. Affordable Automotive offers a full complement of service features for your car, truck, van, SUV, and other vehicles. Affordable Automotive also features a full line of famous Bridgestone tires. Stop in and check out the quality of famous Firestone and Peerless tires. Get a size and style that you need. Affordable Automotive offers towing service 24/7. Simply call 739-2290. Affordable Automotive, conveniently located in the heart of Welty.
Hi, I'm Leah Patterson-Lust, your probate judge, and I'm seeking re-election in the November general election. The office of probate judge is vital. It serves in many capacities. I'm proud to lead a highly skilled, dedicated, efficient, and experienced office here to serve you in our county. We function as a team. I humbly request your vote, confidence, and support in the general election this November. Vote Leah Patterson-Lust, probate judge.
These obituaries are brought to you by Moss Service and Hansville Funeral Home. Memorial services for Ernie Wayne Rollo, age 80 of Hansville, will be tomorrow at 11 a.m. at Hansville Funeral Home Chapel. Wayne Williams and Chris Rollo officiating. A private burial will be held at McKinley Chapel Cemetery in Bremen. Hansville Funeral Home directing. Mr. Rollo passed away on Sunday. The family will receive friends tomorrow, 10 a.m. at the funeral home. Funeral services for Thelbert E. Givens, age 75 of Coleman, will be tomorrow at 2 p.m. at Moss Service Funeral Home Chapel. James Wright will officiate interment at New Mount Zion Cemetery. Moss Service directing. Mr. Givens passed away yesterday. Graveside services for Florence Lillian Palmer, age 96 of Pineville, North Carolina, will be tomorrow at 2 p.m. at Emmaus Cemetery. Moss Service directing. Miss Palmer passed away last Wednesday. Visitation will be tomorrow at the funeral home. And those are our obituaries for today, brought to you by Moss Service and Hansville Funeral Home. Rollo, wasn't he the guy that played on...
Welcome to Today on 2. It is Tuesday, the 4th day of September.
Yeah, I know. We're going to have a hard day with that one today, aren't we?
That's right. These 3-day weekends get the whole schedule messed up.
It does. It does. I had to remember, where do I go today?
That's right. That's right. Forget Monday. It is Tuesday. Overcast today. Wow. What a weekend for weather.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I was hoping for such a pretty weekend, and really, it wasn't so good.
No. Two of my neighbors mentioned that we had a lightning strike in the neighborhood, and they both lost appliances.
Really?
Because of the lightning strike. Oh. Yeah, the first neighbor met me as we'd been out of town this weekend and drove in the driveway, and he said, "You better check your TV set.
Oh.
Make sure it's still working."
Oh, goodness. You know what we do when we leave to go out of town? We unplug major things like that. Mm-hmm. Coffee makers, the TV, because if you get that power surge, or something, we've had that happen too many times. Mm-hmm. So we try to remember to do that. So just a
good
tip.
idea. Well, let's check the weather and see what's going on this week. The weather brought to you by Mitch Smith Chevrolet on Cherokee Avenue. Make the switch to Mitch. Here's the weather almanac for the 4th day of September. The average high temperature is 89. The average low is 63. The record high, 100 in 1953. Record low, 45 in 1984. Sunset this evening at 8 minutes past 7. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 6:23. Satellite picture. Well, you can see what's been taking place in the southeast over the weekend. South Alabama looks like they're still getting some rain, maybe some thunderstorms. Also moving into Georgia. Our part of the state looks like maybe it's going to start to clear off, although we still have a pretty good chance of rain today. Here's our weather forecast for the 4th of September. Cloudy, 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, high around 89. Partly cloudy tonight, slight chance of rain, low of 72. Sunshine returns tomorrow, slight chance of rain, high of 88. Up to 90 on Thursday, 89 Friday, 86 Saturday, 79 on Sunday. With a slight chance of rain each day. So that's the weather forecast for the next several days. It was a busy weekend.
Yeah.
You were grandson sitting?
I was. Well, Derek came and Logan, our almost 2-year-old grandson, and his mama had stayed. She went with the girls. She had a girls' weekend. So
girls' weekend?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So they came in on Friday, and they didn't leave till yesterday. I'm exhausted. Keeping up with an almost 2-year-old is just... It's incredible, and he is constantly moving. If he is awake, he is moving. And at least at his house, he kind of has his own little domain. But we have stairs, and he constantly wants to go up the stairs, and he does okay, but he has no down genes. He doesn't come down very well, so you got to make sure you're there with him, and you're trying to keep him off the stairs and trying to keep him out of stuff, constant. And I have a Tupperware cabinet, and it has 2 pull-out drawers, so Tupperware's everywhere, which is fine. It's fine. But he loves to just throw things. I don't want this anymore. I don't want that. And he loves goldfish, okay? And I had little goldfish, that you eat and everything, and he keeps it in this little container. Well, I had bought some that were rainbow colored. We don't like red goldfish.
I see.
We inspect the green ones. We kind of think about the green ones, but the red ones, they go out.
How does he do with the dogs? You've got a couple of dogs.
Oh, yeah, we have 3 dogs.
3 dogs,
yeah.
Okay.
Plus, he has a dog at home, but he does, he loves them. He loves them, and our dog's name is Mikey, the little one. He calls him Mike. But he kind of, when they come running, because they're pretty big. They're as big as he is. He does this kind of thing. He sort of blocks it and everything, but he does okay. He really does.
Okay.
But we try to keep we keep them separated because they're just so big. And Brig is the big black lab, and his tail is constantly, and he's like right at Logan's head, so he'd knock him over with the tail, So it's just a 3-ring circus at our house. I think you had a little calmer weekend, though, correct?
Well,
maybe not.
We traveled to Iowa for a wedding, and the thing that made it kind of interesting, Kim is one of 8.
Wow.
In a blended family. His, hers, and ours. There are 8 siblings. And I was asking her siblings, when was the last time all 8 of you were together?
Wow.
And finally, one of the brothers, who's got the best memory of the bunch,
yeah, that is an issue.
He said it had been 27 years.
Wow.
27 years since all of them were together at one time.
Isn't that amazing? Now, I know Kim keeps up with her sister, but there are some that she just probably doesn't see very often.
Well, see, you have a sister in Oregon, a sister in Arizona, Kim's in Alabama, there's a brother who lives in St. Thomas.
Yeah.
Well, that's half of them.
Right.
That far apart.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So they had an opportunity, and both of the mothers of the 8 are still living. And so both of them were there.
Okay.
See, all of the fathers have passed away, but both of the mothers were there. So it was a very memorable occasion.
Yes.
The wedding, I'll have to bring the pictures that I have taken. When you have a wedding of a farmer in Iowa, it can be a little bit different. The wedding took place in their bean field.
Well, I was going to say out in the middle of the field, and I was right. That was just my guess.
Exactly.
Oh, goodness.
Yep.
Okay, were there any beans in that bean field?
Not very many.
Oh.
That is bad summer for crops.
Yeah.
We sat on hay bales.
Really? Oh, how interesting. How interesting.
Yep.
So did you get all dressed up?
No.
No. Did you wear blue jeans?
I didn't wear jeans, but I wore a golf shirt and slacks.
The
only people dressed up were those in the wedding party.
Wow. Okay.
People came in shorts, flip-flops,
well,
T-shirts.
What do you wear to a bean field? I mean,
That's right. They may ask you to go out and weed the beans. I mean,
yeah, that's true. That's true. So that was an interesting wedding.
It really was. It really was. It was a good time, and I also had an opportunity to spend great deal of time with my brother and sister, who also live in the same area. My brother pointed out one thing to me just purely by accident. He mentioned that our mother had written memoirs.
Oh.
I had no idea.
Oh, wow.
And so he brought these 2 small books, handwritten.
Wow.
And she had a marvelous memory.
Uh-oh.
First book is about her growing up. First book is from a young lady until she gets married. And the second book is after she gets married and all of us kids. But she could remember details as a little girl that to me was just phenomenal.
Wow.
Describing the houses, every room and what was in every room in the houses.
Oh, my
all of the
goodness.
neighbors and
Wow.
relatives and so forth.
Yeah.
Funny stories.
Oh.
Sad
she
stories.
was a funny lady, though, your mom was,
She
I
could
think.
be, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
she was a character.
Yeah.
And but anyway, I had no idea she'd written these.
Oh.
So George and I like to talk about genealogy. When you find out that someone has written in detail about how life was when they were growing up,
Yes.
and their parents and grandparents, is a real treasure.
Yeah.
So so that was good too.
Well, that was an added plus then.
Yes,
huh?
yes,
Oh,
added
goodness.
bonus.
Yeah.
So anyway, we had a great weekend. Well, let's get back to the business at hand. We probably have a Facebook friend for today, don't we?
We do. Look at this, Robbie Johns. And let me see what Robbie Johns likes to do. He likes horror movies and Alabama football. Well, he must have enjoyed this weekend then.
Yes, he certainly did.
He probably enjoyed it quite a bit. And I think we're going to kind of relive some football ourselves, aren't we? Is that
We
what
are.
We're
We're going to talk football today.
Yeah, Johnny Thornton is here with us. Our local memory bank.
Yes.
Talking about somebody who has a good memory.
Sports Encyclopedia.
Sports Encyclopedia is a great way of putting that, Ted, because Johnny can tell you what jersey number somebody wore back in 1972, and he for whatever team, whatever high school, local high school, and probably college, and probably NFL. I mean, you know, he has got it all locked in there. You just ask him a question and he'll know the answer to it.
I'll tell you one other quick anecdote. Because of the wedding taking place in the bean field, there were no television sets.
Oh.
Saturday night.
Oh, you were in just, oh my gosh. Did you bring your laptop? I mean, what did you do?
Brought my smartphone, my
Okay.
iPhone. We got there early, and we're going through the reception area, and Kim says, "You're going to think you died and gone to heaven." Now, she's referring to the rhubarb pie they had.
Oh, okay.
I said, "There's a television set here?" She said, "No, you haven't gone to that heaven."
Not
But
that
I
one.
thought, well, no problem. I've got my smartphone. I can keep up with the scores.
Oh,
Not in a bean
No, I
field
was
in the
gonna
middle
say,
of Iowa.
no.
You don't get a signal.
No.
You don't. It took like 10 minutes to download things, and so I couldn't get the scores, but you could get text messages. And get this, I have a friend who lives in Florida, would send a text message, "Alabama just scored." They scored again.
Were you getting them pretty regularly? I mean, or was
Thanks
it?
to this friend in Florida.
Okay, but I mean, your text messages were coming across like
came
they
through.
should. They didn't take 10
but
minutes.
downloading on the internet's,
Oh,
forget it.
that.
So,
Yeah. Oh.
so Johnny, you're going to have to tell me what I missed.
Oh my
on
gosh! And it
Saturday
was
night.
the opening season,
I
and
know
you
it.
missed it.
I
Oh,
know
you
it.
just
Couldn't
must have
keep up
been.
with Auburn, Alabama
You
either
must have been beside yourself.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Condolences.
But they had rhubarb pie. So.
They did. Oh, there was some little
So
small
that was
concessions then.
Okay, well, let's get on with our program. George Spear is here with news and commentary coming up next.
At Premier Bank, we're a bit old-fashioned. We actually answer the telephone when you call. However, old-fashioned doesn't mean we aren't up to date. With the latest technology, Premier Bank meets the various needs of our customers. Mobile smartphone banking, internet banking, ATMs, convenient offices. At Premier Bank, we have the right products right now with good old-fashioned customer service. At Premier Bank, we put the customer first.
Overwhelmed by home refinancing offers from telephone solicitors and direct mail advertising, and then find you're not qualified for a specific plan? The Mortgage Center, a hometown lender, compares the rates from all home loan lenders and the qualifications of the various government programs to find a plan best suited to you. The Mortgage Center helps Coleman County people purchase and refinance their homes.
This is Pat Newton. Call us today and let us tailor a loan program to your specific needs and requirements.
Meet the KitchenAid 36-inch induction cooktop. It might just change the way you cook. Induction technology heats the pan and not the cooking surface to offer you a new level of precision, speed, and energy efficiency. 9 settings give you different levels of heat to achieve precise temperatures and amazing responsiveness. Water boils in just seconds, making this the fastest to boil induction cooktop available. The KitchenAid 36-inch induction cooktop.
I'm Ringo. What can I do for you?
Well, my name's Merlin, Pat Merlin. This is my son, Hank. We come a long way, Mr. Ringo. The boy here's gonna kill you.
Time for news and comment. If you have something you'd like to share on this Tuesday, although it feels like a Monday morning, you give us a call at that number right there. Share it with us if you have a thought, maybe an opinion. Don't forget we're streaming live at channel 2coleman.com. It's like the biggest news, of course, for many of us this weekend, having gone through the loud crackle, bang, bang kind of thing. Was it Sunday night, I guess it was? And Saturday night, maybe? It was the weather. James Spann says that there were 8 inches of rain in Pickens County, in places south of us, 8 inches. Man, we got a good bit of it. The Sweet Tater Festival, I got the feeling kind of bad yesterday. I did not bad enough to where I would get in my car and drive down to the Tater Festival, but I got a feeling bad, thinking maybe that this is the second year in a row they had bad weather for this. But according to the Coleman Times this morning, they had thousands, quote unquote, show up at the Sweet Tater Festival in Crane Hill. Just think about it now. How long can they, and I hope they're able to maintain the momentum in raising money to keep this memorial, Dowling Memorial Park, going? But the kids that will graduate this year are too young to ever remember Dowling High School or Dowling School. So much has changed, in education in the past 20 years. And so it's really tough for people, organizers, to keep things going. It has to be. I'm glad they had a good showing down there. 2 Huntsville men arrested for burglary. Yeah, it happened last week. We're talking about 31-year-old Jeffrey Allen Lee from Huntsville, as well as 25-year-old Preston Shea West, arrested for burglarizing the C&M Truck and Trailer repair shop on Schaeffel Road in Good Hope. They stole some vehicles, according to the sheriff, but they have been arrested, put away. Muscular Dystrophy Association's show this weekend. I never come across that. There was a time when I was a kid, there's no way you could miss it. With only 2 channels, how could you miss it, right? Well, and I usually, what is that, a CBS production? I think normally it's been, in the past it's been on Channel 19, which is a CBS affiliate out of Huntsville. But at any rate, they didn't have Jerry Lewis. And last year, they said they made so much money, but in reality, according to one story I read this weekend, they did not nationally make the amount they said they would. Jerry Lewis had a way of cajoling and everything else, people, to make it happen. The Tennessee Valley came up with $293,000 for the MDA this weekend, according to reports. That was always a big staple. And again, I can think of all the people who were on the Muscular Dystrophy Marathon show, and it lasted, 2 or 3 days? People were worn out, slap dab out at the end of the show. Of course, they've shortened the hours. It's a different world we live in, Mr. Jack, when it comes to attention spans now. We have so many with attention span of a gnat who won't stay on a channel long enough to see what's going on. So they had to shorten it, but I don't know that getting Jerry Lewis out of the mix was the best idea. The one show I remember, and I've talked about this before, was in 1965 when Vic Morrow came to to Birmingham and was down there during the drive. And one caller pledged, I don't know how much money, $100 would have been a lot back in 65, right? Pledged a bunch of money if Vic Morrow would smile. So Vic Morrow came on camera and smiled, and I assumed they got the money. And I thought, boy, that's neat. See a smile on Sergeant Saunders' face. Incidentally, he played Sergeant Saunders on Combat, for those of you who know anything about the old 60s TV and such. Madison County Health Department scheduling free flu shots. Now, that's not so much of a news story, except it got me to thinking, free flu shots. I guess we have those occasionally in Coleman, don't we? Isn't there somebody comes up with a free flu shot occasionally for seniors maybe? But you know what? I've gotten confused. Over the past couple of years, I've seen the same flu shots available sign in front of my pharmacy. Do they give them year-round? So I went up to my pharmacist and I said, when are you going to get the new flu shots in? Because it's a different year, and every year it's different, isn't it? You know? He says they're in. Well, how would you know? I'm not sure exactly when these new ones come out. And we have one of the people working with me here at the station says, I'm waiting for my doctor's office to get in the new flu shots before I take mine. I don't know how quickly, isn't it in the fall of the year whenever they come out with new flu shots? It seems like I may wait a while. And there was a question last year, I read a story where they were saying, can flu shots lose their punch after so many months? If you get it too early, will it wear out by the time January shows up and you may have still a case, you know? No, can you get it too soon or can you get it too late? I don't know. The National Retail Federation in Huntsville representative talking about Labor Day sales. You realize Labor Day is the second busiest time of year, right behind Black Friday? Yeah. It's the second busiest. And you know what sells a lot? Something I'd never guess. Believe it or not, mattresses. Mattresses. I mean, people up there in one place selling out. Never would have thought that. School clothes, yeah. Books, you know, things for school. Mattresses. Paul Ryan, the vice presidential nominee there with Mitt Romney, of course, talking about the Jimmy Carter years, he says it makes you want to say that those were the good old days, talking about comparison to what we're dealing with now, right? The Jimmy Carter days. And what's this? Democrats fighting voter identification, yet if you go to the DNC convention this week, you have to show your identification card. That is the walking, talking example of hypocrisy right there. You know, what are they afraid of? In Tuscaloosa, they're going against the trend. In Coleman, in Morgan County, Blount, Marshall, all these states, all these counties usually will teach their administrators and schools that you lock doors in case somebody goes crazy with a gun, right? But not in Tuscaloosa. They're teaching their students there and administrators in their schools to tackle the guy. To tackle the guy. You stop it, nip it in the bud. Is that the best way? I don't know. It's kind of interesting, though. Police, school administration saying this is the way we're headed. And it makes you wonder if that's something that other school systems will consider. Don't know that it's right, don't know that it's wrong. But it makes you wonder. I was telling you a couple of weeks ago about buying, well, we had Brian Lacey, I think was his name. Yeah, Brian Lacey was in here on the politics show talking about the Coleman Electric Cooperative, right? Talking about some of the things that are available. And he mentioned this generator link that they put on your outside electric meter that allows you to take your generator, hook it up to this one little link thing, and it feeds your fuse box, which means you can power anything you want just as long as your generator is capable of powering all those things. Now, there's a limitation on the size of the generator, the wattage and all that it will work with. But I decided to get one of those things, and it ain't cheap. It's almost $600. But when the lights are out, son, don't we know it around here? When the lights are out, or when it's cold, you like having a light. You like having electricity, at least to a few things. Yeah, you can have gas, you can have kerosene for heat, but you want your electricity too. Had it put in, I'll have a picture of it. It's kind of interesting the way these things work. It's automatically disconnects the outside power. Of course, there's none there, which is why you'd use it to begin with. But when the power comes back on, there's a little light on this unit that tells you, hey, if your exterior light, your yard light doesn't show you already, the little green light will tell you when the power is restored back to your area. I like that idea. Instead of the big worry, of course, is if you hook up a generator to your fuse box, that the back feed could hurt someone. It's happened. So this thing prevents that sort of thing from happening. I don't know about you, but Hal David wrote songs I didn't have a clue that he wrote. Hal David. When I was a teenager, all going down the road listening to WSGN 610 out of Birmingham, I would hear Dionne Warwick, Aretha Franklin, I Say a Little Prayer for You, you know. How about Close to You? Those were songs that came later. Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. 91-year-old Hal David passed away in Los Angeles. Oh, man. And he could write such great songs that lift. It's funny how you have a certain snapshot. When you hear a song, there's a certain image, at least it does with me, that comes into my mind. I'm driving up the road in Missionary Grove, coming home from Sunday school, and I'm listening to WSGN or WVOK, depending on which had the best programming at the time. Number one, comparably speaking, the number one movie this weekend in the few theaters that was available was 2016 Obama's America. This small movie gaining incredible traction, making a lot of Democrats angry, needless to say, because it's not necessarily complimentary toward our president. Hollywood maybe can learn a lesson, but they won't. Hey, stay tuned, more of Today on 2 after this.
Cheyenne, Cheyenne, where will you be camping tonight? Lonely man, Cheyenne, will your heart stay free and light? Dream, Cheyenne, of a girl you may never love. Move along, Cheyenne, like the restless clouds up above.
At Premier Bank, we take pride in serving our community. We respect our customers, and we've won awards for our ethical conduct. We're motivated to do all we can for you, and we're interested in your banking needs. We're efficient, safe, and sound, and our relationships with our customers are second to none.
At Premier Bank, we put the customer first.
There's stuff around your house, but we don't make stuff. We make ovens. Dual fuel, double ovens. And they bake so evenly that now delicious is something you can depend on. We only make things for one room. The best room. Your kitchen. We're devoted to it. And you can feel it in everything we make. Nobody knows the kitchen like KitchenAid.
Overwhelmed by home refinancing offers from telephone solicitors and direct mail advertising, and then find you're not qualified for a specific plan? The Mortgage Center, a hometown lender, compares the rates from all home loan lenders and the qualifications of the various government programs to find a plan best suited to you. The Mortgage Center helps Coleman County people purchase and refinance their homes.
This is Pat Newton. Call us today and let us tailor a loan program to your specific needs and requirements.
Let's talk about some football.
Whoa!
Johnny Thorton is back with us to talk about football, high school and college football. Hi, Johnny.
Hi.
Good to have you back on the program.
Thanks. It's always a pleasure to be here.
In looking at the scores from Friday night, it seems like I saw only 2 Coleman County teams lost, and they lost to other Coleman County teams. That being the case, I'd say it was a good opening weekend.
One of the better starts for the county, outside the county, in several years, with Coleman, Cold Springs, Vinemont, and West Point winning. Especially the storyline in 2 places. First, about Cold Springs, haven't winning in 3.5 years. That 35-game losing streak, which was not the longest in the state. Some Christian school somewhere down in South Alabama has lost going into this year 41. So they beat Decatur Heritage And what was fun afterwards, in talking with Coach Elliott from Coach Springs on a radio show afterwards, is Coach Springs pulled a version of what they do at Auburn in Toomer's Corner. They rolled the campus at Coach Springs.
Oh, they were so excited.
Yeah. Well, he said I had that in the planning, and they called it Tommy's Corner in reference to the principal at Coach Springs, Tommy Youngblood.
Oh, okay.
But it was good for them. They needed that because, like I said, it's been 3.5 years since they got a victory. They beat a team, just in their third year in the Alabama High School Athletic Association, but a win is a win.
That's right.
And the community celebrated, and, it was great there down in Coach Springs. Then up in Coleman, an emotional night with Andrew Winfrey back at Waters Stadium wearing his jersey. He was part of the captains for the game. They wheeled him out there in his wheelchair, and he was part of the coin toss in which Coleman won a toss and deferred the option to the second half like most teams normally do. But it was very emotional. He got a standing ovation, and people told me that he's doing much better. It's the first time I've seen or heard anything about him in a while. He seems to be on a recovery. That's good for the young man after what he went through in February. But then Coleman goes out and has a typical 3 quarters with Walker, and then they blow him off the field with 28 points in the fourth quarter. And one going away.
Yeah.
And that's a big win. Walker's usually pretty tough, aren't they?
Well, the all-time series now between Coleman and Walker is 33, 32, and 2. Walker. But Coleman's won 6 of the last 7. And I can never recall being in the game where I saw 3 defensive touchdowns scored in one game. Coleman sacked Walker's quarterback early in the first quarter, recovered it in the end zone. Then, unfortunately, Coleman's quarterback throws a pick six. It's a run down the field 65 yards. And then Coleman's last touchdown in the fourth quarter comes when they sack the quarterback again, and one of the reserve linebackers picks up, goes 40 yards to the end zone. But a good win, but it's a great rivalry. That is the second oldest rivalry between Coleman and Walker. 67 meetings now, and they started back in 1920. The oldest, no question, is Hartzell. They played 83 times. In that series, it's 42, 38, and 3 Coleman going in this year.
Wow.
And that's still coming up.
Yeah, but 3 weeks.
Yeah. Because that's another, like you said, another big rival, huh?
Yeah.
Coleman.
Well, Coleman has the rivalries with Hartzell and Walker. They've been playing so long. Now, the oldest rivalry as far as the county school is Hansel. They played 65 times, and they've dominated. They've won 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Fairview defeated Hanceville rather easily. Did that kind of surprise you?
Well, they wore them down. They scored on the first play from scrimmage. They threw a 69-yard pass play, and then they scored a touchdown late in the second quarter, go up 12-0, and then they just took control of the game. Hansel couldn't do anything offensively. They also had a young man injured, and I don't remember which one it was. But it just, forced Hansel into several 3-and-outs. Fairview got good field position. And they had a kid named Marco Rodriguez that came back last year from an injury and did well in that running game, and they scored 3 touchdowns in the second half. And that's the first time that Fairview has won by a shutout under George Redding, who's now been there 6 years. And he's won 5 in a row as far as season openers since he's been in his alma mater.
How about some of the other games?
Well, the other county game that started Thursday night, it was good up in Holly Pond. I've been real surprising on the outcome as far as Good Hope winning 37-6. Both teams were having 14 starters back from last year. Good Hope going back from 4A to 3A was one thing for them. And Holly Pond had come into this year winning their last 4 regular season games where they got knocked out of the playoffs by Lauderdale County. But 2 defensive play right before the half, Holly Pond throws a pick six. Good Hope intercepts a short run to the end zone. That's 20-0 at halftime. So then they just continuously dominated. And for the second year in a row, Good Hope opens the season with a victory over Holly Pond. Last year after they lost 9 straight.
Okay, how about West Point got off to a good start?
They did.
And Vinemont?
They destroyed Brewer 43-22. They scored 4 touchdowns in the second quarter to go up 36-0 at the half. They played a lot of people as far as what Coach A.J. Lamar told me Friday night. They had a bunch of people carry the football, one thing, to try to create some balance, and that's good in that regard. They gave us some touchdowns in the second half, but they had a chance to play a lot of kids. Vineland won 26-7 over Brindley Mountain. Good showing for Coach Alan Scott in his second year. They had over 500 yards of total offense. They are a running type team. Had two young men, Ty Jones and Tyler Boland, that had a pretty good evening as far as carrying the football. So, like I said, good start for the county, but everybody knows that changes a little bit this week with the start of regional play. The opposition gets a little bit tougher basically for everyone.
Who do you think has the potential to be in the playoffs?
Well, right now, as far as assessment after 1 week, I'm going to say Coleman. I'm going to say Fairview. I still think Hanson's got a good chance as far as making it, even though they lost to a county game and got shut out. I think they'll rebound. I think they're strong enough in their region to get through that. They played a good football team. There's no question as far as who they played and who they lost to. I think those three teams, I think a wild card, if I'm going to say, either good or Vinemont.
Let's talk about Coleman's schedule. It seems rough.
It's probably as tough as some teams are playing out of the SEC.
I think so. Is this not the toughest schedule they've played in a long time?
They didn't get no favors from the Alabama High School Athletic Association. They take them out of that Region 6 where they was in there with Walker and Mortimer Jordan and Springville and those teams, and send them back up north to having to play the number 1 team in the state in Hartsville, number 2 in most of the shows, Russellville and Athens, as far as that is, I guess, a version of Amen Corner. And then they have Lawrence County, East Limestone, and West Point in the region. You know, they go to East Limestone this week. They've never played East Limestone before. I guess it's going to be an interesting trip up there into Limestone County. Of course, that's where Ted's from, in that vicinity. But I think they can succeed as far they've got good. You know, Zach Crocker's back at quarterback. Garrett Crowder last week, they ran him. He still had endurance. He carried the ball in that game 32 times and gained 143 yards out of that spread formation that you see what Coleman does as far as running it all over the field. They've got great wideouts. The question mark that people were telling me going in this year was their defense. They lost several people last year to graduation, and can they stop people? Well, they beat a pretty good football team, and they did some good things. Like I said, they had 2 turnovers that went into the end zone for touchdowns. They did give up 1 drive in the third quarter of 75 yards. And the other touchdown was a pick six by a very good athlete for Walker named Quadricus Key. Like I said, he just read the pass perfectly and just went down the sidelines for the score. But if Coleman can split those 4 elite games with Hartsville, Russellville, Muscle Shoals, and Athens, they got a good chance to be 2 or 3, I think, going into the playoffs.
Yeah. Does Fairview have the easiest shot at the playoffs of Coleman County teams?
Well, the Fairview people was hoping to have some wishful situation here. They dropped North Jackson off their regional schedule, but they picked up Adiana, who was second in the state last year. They're in Region 6 of Class 4A. This week they play at Douglas in the regional opener. Then they got one of their longtime rivals from the region. They got Guntersville. And Guntersville could come in that game possibly 0-2. They lost last week to Boaz. And then this week, Guntersville plays Aniana.
Oh.
And Fairview's got a chance to be among the mix. St. Clair County is in that region. Locust Fork, Crossville, Sardis, Douglas, Aniana, and Guntersville. George Redding does a very good job out there. Yeah. He's a fine young man. 6th season, he's won 38 games. He's been to the playoffs the last 4 years. Good football program. Strange thing about this now, Dennis and Jacqueline. George Redding played for Dafford Smith, when everybody knows Dafford and thinks the world of him, and I do too. Dafford was a running type coach as far as, I can't remember the formation he ran now. Wing T formation, you're right, wing T. George Redding has learned that spread formation offense, to see spur your tie. I find that to be a little of irony.
Yeah, how true. We need to take a break right now. We'll come back and talk college football with Johnny, so stay tuned.
There's something about the moment when you first walk into that new home. It took a lot to get there, but Eva Bank made it easy to get the loan you needed. Eva Bank, as a part of the community, makes lending decisions right here where you live. Our lenders make the process quick and easy with rates you'll love. Visit your neighbors at Eva Bank today and let them help you with your new home loan, manufactured home, refinance, or remodel. Eva Bank, part of the community we call home.
Life lived in black and white is not a life lived. Today, I choose color. To see it. To feel it. To be in it. To be upon it. And to live a life surrounded by it. Today, I put on a fresh coat.
At Premier Bank, we are very proud of the long-lasting relationships we have with our customers. We'll go almost anywhere to meet your banking needs.
On the edge of the American desert lies a forest turned to stone, the petrified forest. Grim, silent, mysterious. Here in a lonely desert tavern, fate draws together a strange company. Alan Squire, a vagabond adventurer running away from his past. Gabrielle Maple, a beautiful girl weary of the desert solitude, eager to escape with the first man who comes her way. Bose Hammond, an ex-football hero down on his luck. Paul Chisholm, multimillionaire banker vacationing with his disillusioned young wife, Dorothy. Gramp Maple, a sly old reprobate. And Duke Mentee, vicious leader of a notorious band of gunmen, hiding out after a gang massacre. In a short space of 24 eventful hours, these characters live a lifetime of romance, adventure, terror, and tragedy. It's one of the most unusual stories ever brought to the screen, The Petrified Forest.
Welcome back to Today on 2. It's time for our merchant ads, and let's see, what do we have for prizes on Tuesday? We have lunch for 2 at Chick-fil-A on Cherokee Avenue, and for dessert you can have 2 cupcakes from Frosting's Bakery. Those are the prizes we have for today. Let's look at some of our merchant ads, and we'll ask you a question about one of these ads. Starting with Uniform Place, and of course they have fall styles, color, and comfort, and the Landau Made Better brand available at Uniform Place.
And Tires for Less is more than just tires. You can have your air conditioner checked, oil changes, minor engine repairs, shocks, brakes, all those checks. They have 80 years of experience. And if you mention that you saw this ad on TV, you can receive $5 off your oil change. That's Tires for Less.
And right next door, you'll find the crew that stands behind you when you need them the most. That's Earl's Body Shop, offering 24-hour wrecker service. They're on Highway 31 North and on the internet, earlsbodyshop.com.
The Tutor Doctor. Make this just the best school year ever. Give your child some help by visiting the inhometutors-alabama.com or give them a call at 734-6500.
New to Coleman, remold tires. They're called the HydroMaster tire. Cost about 50% less than new tires. They are a premium quality remold tire.
Festal Marketplace continues to stay open on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Check that out from today from 8 until 3. They have a great variety of fresh vegetables and some fruits, and they have baked breads, all kinds of goodies.
Deb's Bookstore, used books half price every day, new books 20% off every day. Deb's Bookstore, where browsers are always welcome. You'll find something that you want to read at Deb's Bookstore.
Mr. Plumber, plumbing, sewer, and drain services available. This is locally owned and operated. Fast 24-hour service, commercial, residential service, and remodeling available, and the tank and tankless water heater.
Mr. Hicks Menswear, businessmen suits and sport coats come in regular, big, and tall sizes. You'll find casual shirts in sizes all the way up to 5X at Mr. Hicks. Those are some of the merchant ads. Slogan on one of the ads, we make house calls. Which advertiser are we talking about? Now, more than one business will come to your house.
True.
But this is a slogan for one of the advertisers. We make house calls. Who are we talking about? 256-734-7399 is our telephone number. The first person with the correct answer received lunch for 2 at Chick-fil-A and 2 gigantic cupcakes from Frosting's Bakery. We make house calls. Who are we talking about here? Remember, just one winner per household within a 30-day period of time. And I think we have some callers lined up. Let's see. Who's calling, please? From where are you calling?
Holly Pond.
From Holly Pond. Okay. We make house calls. Who are we talking about?
Is it Tutor Doctor?
Yes, it is the Tutor Doctor. You got the right answer. Stay on the line, please. The Tutor Doctor. We make house calls. Mr. Plummer does, too.
Yeah, I thought about that as soon as you said that.
Doesn't say that on the ad.
No, you kind of expect that he's going to do that.
Well, let's look at the rest of our merchant ads right now. High Tide Sports Grill. They're open 3 until 9 o'clock. They have special nights on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with live country music on Saturday night.
And Night Free Insurance, providing insurance coverage for 3 generations now. They've also won some special awards. Let's see what that is. One of the top 10 growth agencies in the state of Alabama for auto owners. They're located at 410 First Avenue Southeast.
Shimmer and Glow Tanning Boutique. Open Monday through Friday, 8 till 8, Saturday from 8 to 4. They have all sorts of tanning. They have the spray tan. They have the tanning bed, stand-up tanning. They provide child care too. Shimmer and Glow.
And you can open the door to history and fine prints at Renard's Gallery and Gifts. They're located right there on First Avenue, and they have jewelry, framing. They just do a great job of framing, and you can visit them on the web at renardsgallery.com.
You're in good hands with Sorelli at Doug Doggett Jewelers. Sorelli is antique-inspired heirloom jewelry. One of the many reasons you shop at Doug Doggett Jewelers.
Kick off your fall season at It's My Party. They have tailgating parties, all-occasion balloons. Book Lulu the Gorilla for special events. It's My Party right across from Sacred Heart Church on 2nd Avenue Southeast.
Baldwin Counseling Center. Have problems? Need to talk? Want privacy? Help is a phone call away. Call Dr. Howard Rogers at Baldwin Counseling Center, 256-737-3087.
Fitness opportunities await you at the Coleman Wellness and Aquatic Center. They do have day passes, but really the monthly specials are the best thing to do. They have a 6-lane competition pool, full fitness center.
Mullins Body Shop, located at Phelan, 52 years for auto body repair and towing. Mullins Body Shop. Call them today if you need their services.
And some sweet deals are available at Dairy Queen. Check out any 3 for just $4.44. And the blizzard of the month is the M&M Brownie Blizzard. Oh, that sounds so yummy. And Cheeseburger Lover's Delight is available.
And those are the merchant ads that we have for today. Now it's time to check our birthday list for people celebrating on September 4th.
Well, it looks like Judy Sandlin has a birthday along with Coy Lassiter. We also have an anniversary. Let's take a look at that. Coy and Marcy Lassiter. Wow. That's easy for him to remember,
That's a good idea. Get married on your birthday.
Good idea. Well, these winners have the opportunity of winning possibly an 8x10 portrait from Baker Photography and an ice cream cake from Dairy Queen. That will be drawn on Friday.
Here's the weather forecast brought to you by Mitch Smith Chevrolet on Cherokee Avenue. Make the switch to Mitch. Be a cloudy day today, 50% chance of rain, high around 89. Slight chance of rain yet tonight, low of 72. Sunshine returns tomorrow with a 30% chance of rain and a high near 88. Okay, John.
Storm. They all happen in Coleman County. And for 3 generations, Night Free Insurance has been there for you. Continuing today with Elliott and Westcott Free, customizing your life, home, auto, and business insurance with auto owners. Call Westcott, Elliott, Judy, Tina, Angie, or Karen. Night Free Insurance, where people are the difference.
I'm open for opinion, Sergeant. What's yours? Well, I figure we have about an hour and a half.
We pull what?
We know what's back there coming our way. Tanks. When they catch up to us, we'll be sitting ducks. Period.
Combat. A Selmer production.
ride of your life, you'll find it at Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales in Coleman. I'm talking about sharp cars and trucks that'll get you noticed and deals too low to believe. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it and find it for less at Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales. Come on, North Alabama. It's time you had a sharp set of wheels and a really good deal. Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales, serving you from two big lots, Highway 31 North and 31 South in Coleman, Alabama.
In the nation, we can't make every annoying thing disappear, but we can eliminate deductibles. Nationwide insurance members who add Vanishing Deductible get $100 off for every year of safe driving. Join the nation where deductibles go.
Nationwide is on your side.
Once again, we're going to talk about football, college football this time with Johnny Thornton. Johnny, of course, I didn't see the game Saturday night, but in reading about it in newspaper accounts, 2 words came up about the Alabama-Michigan game: dominated and humiliated. Ooh. Those are pretty strong words. Would you agree that's the way the game went?
No doubt about it, for the SEC to prevail again over the Big Ten. No offense since you're from Iowa. Maybe Nick Saban is not telling us he has some secrets about this football team. They may be a lot better than we thought they could be. We thought they would be good. But I think one thing is, because of so many changes in the personnel as far as, the skill players on offense, they're not there no more. So it's a chance for people like Eddie Lacy, and even bringing T.J. Yeldon, DeAndre White, who caught that touchdown pass from A.J. McCarron, and then others. Well, it's your chance to be in the spotlight and step up and to play to the potential of being another national champion. I think this is what I say about Nick Saban. Nick Saban is college football's version of Vince Lombardi. I mean, he coaches every play like it's life or death. I mean, I like that about the guy. I mean, Teddy, I know you watched the game on Saturday, and they had a backup tight end that had a unnecessary roughness foul down the field, and it wiped out a big game. And then when the guy goes back to sidelines, Saban gives him the riot act. And of course, they show it on national television. I mean, not to embarrass him, but that's just the way Nick Saban coaches. And I think either they're going to be a better football team than we thought, or Michigan is not as good as we thought. I mean, I don't know. I think Alabama is going to be a better football team, and I think the reason is because Nick Saban told me, said, this is your opportunity for you newcomers to step in, fill these vacancies, and to prove to the country that you can play to that high level. I know they did in one ball game, but right now, if I had to vote, I'd take Alabama number 1, Pretty Boy Lane Kiffin and his team at Southern Cal number 2, LSU 3. I would put Oregon number 4, and I'd move Georgia into number 5.
Wow. After they played pretty good last week.
And Alabama has been ranked second, though, right?
Yeah, they second as far as in the AP poll and in the coaches poll.
But they kind of like that, huh? Because when you're ranked first, then you've just got so much you have to live up to, and it just makes it a little...
The Bama Nation is scared to death, Jacqueline, about what happened after 2009 going into 2010. They were expected to win again. They had several people off that defensive team going at that time. And I think one thing, they didn't have chemistry as far as apparently Julio Jones and Mark Ingram and some of the others just didn't get along. And also that year, the Garcia kid of South Carolina probably had the best game he ever had against Alabama. And Jarrett Lee at LSU played the best game he ever had. And I know for the Bama Nation, they can't swallow the fact is they let a 24-0 lead on Auburn go down the drain, and especially with the one-man crew they called Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, Mike and my son and I, Derek, were talking a little bit about Auburn because I did get to watch some of the game Saturday night. But like I say, chasing a little 2-year-old around, I didn't get to see much.
Is that a future Auburn Tiger?
Yeah, he could say Weagle.
Okay.
He can't say War Eagle, but he can say Weagle. So that's good. That's good. We're starting. Yeah. But you know, Cam Newton was there on the field.
Yes, he was.
You know, just on the sidelines and stuff. And Derek said he is just a phenomenon. He really is, and he's already broken some records in the NFL.
Okay, well, first of all, he's a great athlete. There's no question about his athletic skills, but he can't do it all by himself. I mean,
Oh, no.
the whole point about, as you know, when they won a national championship, everybody else started raising their bar of play, especially when they played Arkansas, when they scored 65 points that year and won that big ball game. And the same about Cam Newton last year playing in the NFL. He had great numbers statistically. Carolina went from 1 win to 6 wins in Cam Newton's first year. The question is now, can the Carolina Panthers with Cam Newton win more games and compete in that division that they play with the Falcons and Saints and try to win it? We'll have to wait and see. No question about Cam Newton's athletic ability.
Yeah.
He's tremendous.
Yeah, and that really, really helped Auburn.
Yeah.
You know.
But talking about the Auburn game for Saturday night is they had some good things. Kyle Frazier looked good at times, had some inconsistency. The question mark still is the defense. The change to Brian Van Gorder, the defensive coordinator who came from the Falcons, I question that. I mean, they've talked so much about him as far as the praise, but the last game he coached in the NFL, they got beat by the eventual Super Bowl champions and gave up 24 points, and they scored 2. They didn't stop. Clemson may be better than what we thought, too. You know, they talked about Sammy Watkins being suspended because of his drug use, but that quarterback, running back out of 10 yards, had a wide receiver that got baptized and had 13 catches. Auburn's got some issues, and this week it's a toss-up game in Starkville that they could lose. They could wind up losing 4 of their first 5 games, and I like Gene Chizik. Gene Chizik is a straight-up great coach.
Yeah.
I enjoy him, but the unfortunate situation, some of these things that's happened is beyond his control.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But they got to play better. I mean, and if the defense don't play better, they're going to have a tough time.
Sure.
In the SEC, were you surprised at any of the games?
Let's say I was disappointed in the team that I support, and that would be the University of Florida. The only reason is because they had a dozen penalties in that ball game, a lot of false starts and some other silly things. And I think our coach is a kamikaze. he is a total lunatic. I mean, he's crazy out there as far as Will Muschamp. I just don't know if he can get it done. And I think one thing this weekend, they go to College Station and play Texas A&M. Of course, A&M got postponed last week because of the hurricane in the Louisiana coast. It's a big game out there at College Station. Game day is going to be there. They've already played. If Florida loses this week to an untested Texas A&M team, I think the root's going to come in down in Gansel at the swamp.
Whoa, yeah.
I was just disappointed how they played. You know, they just didn't have consistency.
How about Tennessee? That surprised you?
Absolutely. Derek Dewey's a good guy. He's trying to clean up the muckety muck that was left over by Lane Kiffin. Big win for them. But that's just one game he said afterwards. I think they have the potential to win 9 games, but I don't think they will win the East. I still go with Georgia. And Georgia had that freshman named Todd Gurley. He had a 100-yard kickoff return to tie a school record. He also ran for 100 yards and scored 2 touchdowns. Takes pressure off their quarterback, Aaron Murray. But as far as the quarterbacks that played well this past week, ranked number 1, no question, A.J. McCarron. McCarron, I thought, was the best. Murray would have been second. Tyler Wilson at Arkansas would have been third. In that team that you also support, Jacqueline, out in Baton Rouge, Les Messman, I call him when he's all real bad. I like it. He's just, you never know about clock management.
Yeah.
And they don't need a young man. It's sad that what happened to Tyrann Mathieu. But they don't need a honey badger because Odell Beckham went back there and returned a kick 70 yards for a touchdown. Mettenberger's a good quarterback. You know, he got knocked out of the ball game and came back in. But as far as a parallel right now with Alabama and LSU, after the first week, here's Alabama, here's LSU as far as my analysis. But LSU still got a good football team.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily need Tyrann Mathieu. I mean, it'd been good if they had him. That's just unfortunate. But I think they'll be fine. This week they got a big game at Tiger Stadium under the lights, and they play a team out of the Pac-12, Washington.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's going to be
a decent game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a national televised game. It'll be on ESPN Saturday night at 6 after my Gators go to College Station at 2:30.
Okay.
Johnny, thank you.
Well, it's a pleasure as always. Appreciate it.
And we'll have more of Today on 2, so stay tuned.
pride of your life, you'll find it at Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales in Coleman. I'm talking about sharp cars and trucks that'll get you noticed and deals too low to believe. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it and find it for less at Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales. Come on, North Alabama. It's time you had a sharp set of wheels and a really good deal. Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales, serving you from two big lots, Highway 31 North and 31 South in Coleman, Alabama.
Charles B. Wooster, and I come from Mound City.
I know your name, Private. What I mean is, what kind of work have you done, if any?
Oh, all kinds, all kinds.
Well, what, for instance?
Well, I've cleaned out livery stables and swept out saloons, butchered cattle, and I was a kook.
A what?
Kook.
You mean a cook?
Yes, sir. I was a chief kook for the Benton Mining Company. And then one night after dinner, poor old Mr. Benton, God rest his soul, he up and died on me.
It's time for our community billboards, brought to you by Pepsi and Coleman Jefferson Gas. Country dance tonight at VFW Post 2214. It's going to start at 7 p.m. and that's $5 per person. And you can get fit for Haiti. Proceeds to benefit the projects of Haiti's Eve. That's going to be on Saturday, September the 8th. That's at Jan's Fitness Club from 8 until 9:30 in the morning. They'll be having classes. Stop by Jan's Fitness Club to get more information. If you have a community billboard you want to share with us, you can send it to channel2coleman@gmail.com. You can fax it to 256-734-7680, or you could be a friend on Facebook, Channel 2, spell out the number 2 Coleman.
Could be another rainy day today, maybe thunderstorms, 50% chance of rain with a high around 89. Partly cloudy tonight, slight chance of rain, low of 72. Mostly sunny tomorrow, still a slight chance of rain with a high near 88. And a quick reminder that our afternoon programs here on Channel 2 will start about 1:47, well, not about, exactly 1:47.
I love that.
With High Chaparral. And some of those programs you haven't seen on television for a long, long time here on Channel 2. Tomorrow, who do we have coming to see us?
Maria Stanford's going to be here tomorrow to talk to us about a golf tournament that they have going on as a fundraiser, and also Kelly Allen, because I think tomorrow is a big day for EMA. They are having a special little public forum, a free seminar that they're going to be sponsoring. So that's who we're going to be visiting with tomorrow.
That's our program for today. Thank you for watching today on 2.
I hope you have a great day.